Today we're filming in Sri Lanka. Welcome to Wonkeyjase. So if you're lucky enough to have a new update car, you may see this little fella come up. So what this means is lane discipline. And so what happens is if you say you're on a dual carriageway and you just change lanes without indicating, then the car will actually try to pull you back to the original lane. And the idea of this, if you go sleepy or strayed off or weren't paying attention and you went over a solid line or a good amount of lines, and what it does is try to pull you back to try to save your life. So this is what this is, and it's on a lot of new cars. And if you don't like it, you can deactivate it in the infotainment system or press this little button there, and that will turn it off. But it could just save your life, so it's worth keeping on. Let's go on to the next one. So if you don't know what fuel the vehicle you're driving is, open up fuel cap. It should have a little sign there. So this one, diesel. Another name for diesel is a B7 in the little box there, B7, and that should also be displayed on the petrol pumps. So well, there we are. Some job done. And the other thing is, if you haven't noticed before, you've got a little cubby hole on the door to hold the fuel cap. Not all vehicles have a fuel cap, so of course on some vehicles you may not have a cubby hole, but the ones that do, use it. It's brilliant. Okay, there's quite a lot going on, so let's get going on first left. So we'll take that one on the far left. So what this means is when a vehicle comes up close behind you in your blind spot, basically, alarm will come up on your mirror, generally a little light to say there's a vehicle in your blind spot. So when you look at your mirror, a little light will illuminate, usually amber, and it will show you that there's a vehicle coming up on your blind spot, which you may have not noticed. So quite a nice one to have if cars got it. So the next one is parking sensors. So you have a little beep going off when you get too close to cars. It may even come up on your screen, a little video of the surroundings, and it will tell you whether you're too close to the vehicle or how close you're getting. So the more beeps, the bigger the crash. So I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Why not get yourself a nice cup of tea or a coffee, or even a nice bowl of milk. Nice and easy, heated steering wheel, sweet. So this is a stop-start technology. So when you come to traffic lights or in traffic for a period of time, the engine may cut out automatically. It come up with this little symbol on the dashboard or some little indication to tell you what's going on. And once you press the accelerator, the clutch, the brake, anything like that, or put it into gear, the engine will automatically start again, and then it can be off. So the idea is to save some fuel and to save the planet. Nice. And the next one is a heated seat. It's got high position, so lovely nice heat, and a low position, only a tiny bit of heat. Either way, they're especially nice. So on some new vehicles, you may not have to use the key to start the vehicle. You only have to have the key or the key fob on you, and then you have a little button like this where you press start to start it, press stop to stop it. Sometimes you have to press the clutch, sometimes you have to press the brake. This is so kids can't stop and start the vehicle by themselves. It has to have somebody who's capable of pressing the pedals at the same time. So start it and stop it. So this crazy button that stops anybody using the windows apart from you. Gotta be used. So this one's a little bit more complex. So you find this on four-wheel drive. So if you had it in the 2H position, it means that the vehicle's two-wheel drive and it's high range, so that means you can drive it around as you want, as a normal car responds. Now if you're having 4H, so you just move the dial to the right once, that means it's four-wheel drive and high gear, so you can drive around it as per normal, but it's got four wheels being driven, which means you've got more traction on the road, but it does take a bit more fuel because you're driving four of the wheels rather than two. So it takes a bit more of the fuel. It's going to cost you a little bit extra. Now on 4HLC, that means four-wheel drive, high range, so you can drive it like the 4H, and it's got locked central differential. So this is more for off-roading, but if you use it on the road, what happens is all the wheels will travel at the same speed at the same time. So a differential, what it does is, say like you're going around a roundabout, one wheel will be doing the larger part of the circle, the outer wheel, and the inner wheel will be taking a smaller distance. So they travel at a different speed. So have it locked. What you do is you hear it scrubbing, and you may be bouncing across the floor a tiny bit. So on road, it's not great. If you're off road, it's brilliant, because what happens is it stops the wheel spinning when it loses traction. So not for the road, off road, yeah. And then you've got these 4 LLC. So exactly as it sounds. So it's 4-wheel drive, low range, and locked central differential. So when it's in low range, what it does, it gives it a much more torque, which means it's got pulling power rather than speed. So pulling power means it would be able to travel up and down hills and that kind of stuff, but you won't be able to go very fast. So low range, it's got loads of power. High range, it's got nothing. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Hope I explained that right, and let's move on to the next one. So we've got 2 buttons here. The top one with the vehicle looks like it's got on a flat surface. What it is that's going downhill, so it's it'd be incline slope assist. So what it does is tries to stop the wheels from spinning when you're going down a hill on a loose gravel. And the one below is automatic handbrake. So if you press that button, when you come to a stop on a hill, all you have to do is do your normal braking, then you press the foot pedal down as hard as you can. That will activate the automatic handbrake. So the automatic handbrake will come on, stop you from rolling backwards, and when you need to pull away, all you need to do is touch the accelerator. When it reaches a certain amount of range and a certain amount of resistance, the car will automatically release the handbrake and allow you to go on with your journey. So this one's all to do with the mirrors. When you put the little catch on the left, you can use the left mirrors, and in the middle with the little dot, it doesn't do anything. And when you move over to the right, it allows you to adjust the right mirrors, and the little buttons underneath allow you to move it around. Now the little switch to the side of the right, that will actually what doesn't it do? What it does is actually pull the mirrors in. So when you park up, it pulls the mirrors in, and that way hopefully nobody will swipe your car and destroy your mirrors when it's parked. Okay, we've got a few to get through on this one. So the first one is the traction control. So don't turn that off, otherwise you may be spinning all over the place. So traction control on, or traction control off. And let's move on to the next one, which is the lane discipline warning again. And the one next to that is a crash collision warning. So it's got sonars at the front of the vehicle, sends out a radar. If it believes you're traveling too fast to brake for the vehicle in front, then the alarm will go off, flashing lights, and it may have other stuff attached to it. But anyway, that's what it's going to do. It's going to warn you that you may crash into the vehicle in front. And over on the far right, that's the adjustments for the headlights. So if you find that you're blinding other people with your headlights, or you're not happy with how much of the road is illuminated, you can adjust that up and down, and that will move the headlights to a suitable position that's suitable for you. And this little pad isn't for your keys or anything like that, sunglasses. It's actually put your phone on there, and if you've got wireless charging on your phone, this little puppy can wireless charge your phone as you're driving. So if you see this little SOS button with a telephone, it's usually on the roof in the middle of the car. And if you press that, it usually goes through to your manufacturer. So if it's a Mercedes, it goes through to Mercedes switchboard, Audi and all that kind of stuff. BMWs quite often have them. And it was somebody who can assist you. Say if you had a crash or accident, or upside down, anything like that, press that button. That'll get you through to a real person. The other thing it does do, it actually tracks where your vehicle is at all times. So if you've got one of those buttons on there, chances are your vehicle is being tracked. If it's stolen or anything like that, had to go call, they would know where you were when you've done it. So on the stalk of this one with the windscreen wipers, it's actually got auto. So what happens, you've got little sensors all the way around the windscreen, and if it detects water, it will move the windscreens accordingly, so you don't have to worry about turning them on and off again. Woo. Some modern cars actually come up with a speed restriction in the area you're in. The only downside is that if you're in cruise control, sometimes they pick up the road that's adjacent to the car, the vehicle, the road you're travelling, and it can suddenly slam on the brakes. I've had this before. So say for example you're on a dual carriageway, you're doing 70 miles per hour, you go past a road that's 30 miles per hour. If its GPS confuses where you are, it may actually reduce you from 70 to 30. I'm not sure if manufacturers are sorting that out now, but that's what's happened on a few cars, so it can be dangerous. So just a little warning there. So if you find the vehicle has got this in front of your steering wheel on the dashboard, it's a head-up display like a fighter jet. It usually tells you the time, it can show you GPS, destination, etc., the speed limit for that road, and anything else that may be valuable. And the screen is quite often adjustable, but it's not always the simplest thing, so you may have to ask your manufacturer how to actually change it on your car. If you see this little arrangement, this is to do with the cruise control and the speed limiter. So you've got a little dial in the middle, a little button. So if you press up, it goes up. Press down, it goes down. Once you selected the speed that you want to travel at, and most of these only activate over 30 miles per hour, they won't do it under. But it all depends on your car. Once you've gone to the speed that you're happy with, you press the set button. That will set the speed. And if the cruise control button's been activated, that would the car will actually hold it at that speed. Some cars have radar which actually adjust it back and forth, but on most cars it doesn't, so it just hold it at that speed. So you just have to be careful and aware of that. And the limit button, what it does, it stops it going over that speed. So if you're in, say, like a 50 zone, you press that button and it won't let you go over 50 miles per hour and possibly save your license. If you do brake or accelerate anything like that, it can cancel it out. And if you want to resume it, you just press the resume button, or if you want to cancel it completely, just press the cancel. So a few things going on here. We've got the stop start button. It's fixed to the vehicle, but this is the actual key. Next up, we've got the gear selector. So if you press that down, it will go into drive. If you press it up, it goes into neutral, and then if you press it up again, it will go into reverse. And to the right there, you have a P button, and that will put it into park, which will lock the gearbox. So I hope that was helpful, and look forward to seeing you again. We've got over, actually nearly 800 videos now, so please like, share, subscribe and comment below. We're also on TikTok, and on the next video, how to perform a auto rotation on a rotary wing aircraft.